There are other best practices we should keep in mind while designing our endpoints. We should only use nouns and no verbs within our endpoints, and they should be plural and consistent wherever possible. We should version our APIs by appending something like API/v0/ our endpoint. This will allow us to keep track of anything that might change from version to version. For example, in a new version of a system, we might introduce a breaking change, and an old client might still be communicating using an old version. So maintaining different versions for backwards compatibility is very important. Lists should also be paginated to limit the amount of data sent. As our systems begin to grow, we might have hundreds or thousands or millions of records that we can provide to the requesting client. Using an offset and limit parameters is one way to begin to limit how our data is being sent to the client. This is a very common pattern seen in databases, but there are other ways to accomplish the same goals. All responses should also attempt to use status codes correctly. It's sometimes a little bit tricky to know which status code to use in certain scenarios, but putting in the extra effort now is one of those things that will minimize our risk of technical debt as our systems begin to grow and need to understand how things are going wrong. All responses should include data formats. Once again, it's not entirely clear what kind of data we're sending over our network, so including this in our headers will dramatically improve our effectiveness as we're making use of that data. And error payloads should include messages. An error payload is super valuable for the client or the user, but only if it actually provides information for what went wrong so that that can be corrected. REST is one popular, easy to implement kind of API. It's easy to migrate endpoints between systems. It's easy to continue to version and improve upon your endpoints. And it's really simple to implement on modern platforms. It's also really great to use in consumable APIs because almost everyone knows how to use REST, or at least has seen it once before. Another new option, or more recent option, is GraphQL. It's super trendy, super hot right now, and it's great for complex relationships. Instead of having endpoints for each type of data, there's a single endpoint, but we use our body payload to define what kind of request and what data we're asking for. It also goes as far to allow us to declare how we want that data returned. For example, we can ask for complicated relationships as a single object, complete with pagination directly as one request. It's also super helpful for things with units and non-standard data types. We can request for someone's height to be returned either as feet or as centimeters, depending on the type of user asking on the client side. And the tooling and support for GraphQL is growing at an extremely fast rate.